So I'm redoing the SQL injection room because I lost my notes. And I think it's a good room. As I'm still going through it again, I might just as well redo it. So I reset it. So it's easier to keep track of where I am. Yeah, so I clicked this one because that's where you start the box. But let's repeat it. So, the inbound SQL injection, meaning normal SQL injection. We can just see the response on the page. Error based, we can see an error message. Union based, we use a union to get information. And we have to have the same number of columns as here. Good morning! No, that sounds so nice. It's bright and sunny here too, actually, but yeah. I was thinking of setting up a camera and starting with the thing I glued yesterday to continue putting this back together. But I thought it's kind of short thing to do, and I'm tired. I'll start with this. So I usually have that ring light up here, but the plastic kind of broke. I think it was too heavy, the stuff I had on there. Yeah, actually I'm going to add some more glue on there. We could do that. So we'll have time to dry again. Yeah, good morning, and it's my early afternoon, I guess. I ate lunch 2 hours ago at least. So, I shouldn't eat stuff on stream really, because it's hard to talk at the same time. I kind of stayed up a bit too late because of I started watching Drake's Extreme when I was just going to bed again. So, yeah, I'm like thinking, should I repeat this? Well, I know it, but yeah. So here it's blind. I'm talking about blind, and that authentication actually is a kind of blind one because we don't get like data back, but we can see. I think it's not blind when we know when we're able to log in. That's not blind, right? They call it blind anyway. Yeah, so this kind of query we could just bypass with this. If there's no sensation, of course. And we did that. But also I put it over here at the username with a comment. So let's see if we open up this web page. Right. I need to start the VPN first. Because it's not, it's a 1010 address. There. I'm thinking I'll start burp. Let's replace the IP. Yeah, burp isn't started yet. First I was thinking I'll skip I'll skip burped. It could be fun to play with that too, sending it through there. So now it should work. Okay, we have to restart. So I'm thinking, what did we use here? We used the union. Yeah. So let's actually open notes too. Obsidian. So how are you, digital? Are you? I hope you're great. Bright and sunny Seattle sounds nice. Yeah, so I started making new notes here on this. Right, so we got the password from here. That's how we could log in on the first page. So let's paste the query here. So first thing here, using 0 instead since it's invalid, so we don't get the correct reply. And then adding our union. And we have Martin's password here. And there. Yeah, I thought we might have to redo this. So let's just do, well, apparently it remembers. So the third, we have to click level 3 too. So this is where we were when we stopped yesterday. So I'm going to read the things. Alright, I'm not used to not having the DTS. I don't look at chat very much. Sorry. Yes, doing good. Super busy with school, work and family. I'm actually taking a final on SQL today. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah. So normal SQL or SQLi stuff, you know. So, blind SQLi, Boolean based. Boolean based SQLi, well, Boolean based SQL injection refers to the response we receive from our injection attempts, which could be true, false, yes, no, on, off, 1, 0. Response that and response that can only have 2 outcomes. That outcome confirms that our SQL injection payload was either successful or not. On the first inspection, you may feel like this limited response can't provide much information. Still, with just these 2 responses, it's possible to enumerate a whole database structure and contents. Practical. On level 3 of the SQL injection example machine, you're presented with a mock browser with the following URL. Okay, mostly creating tables and complex SQL queries. Most of my exams are all multiple choice, but this exam requires actual SQL coding. I'm a bit nervous. So at least you don't have to type stuff on paper, you will see if it works. Is that it? Because it's kind of annoying to do programming with exact syntax, and SQL is programming. on paper. I used to have those tests when I was like little. Like 7th grade. We had those tests on paper. But I only had one language to keep track of. That was Pascal, I think, or was it Basic? Well, we maybe had 2 or 3. So I think I have some like old programming test on paper. So now I just mix the syntax of all of them. I can't like separate exactly how was C# for loops different from C for loops, Java for loops, any language that's similar, you know. Yeah, that's great. That's very nice, because if you otherwise it will be like, oh my god, was it this character or not? Is my syntax correct? If you can test it, that's great. Big plus. Actually, that's the only way to do it, right? Because if you can't, it's not realistic. You should really have Google too. Who won't Google now? So we have this up where we have check user's username admin. Oh right, it says up here taken true. Oh, so we know that admin exists from this. But how do we know it? Let's read on. Heading to work now. Gotta go. But have a great rest of your day, you too. Have a great rest of your day, and welcome back. I'm sorry that I'm streaming these hours when you're busy. I'll try to stream later hours someday. I will. Yes, you know, family and work and everything. And I have actually a meeting to prepare my kid for. It's someone calling at 15:30. So I'll go and make a quick reminder for him, and then I'll be back. And then just before, I'll go remind him again. So he wants to be surprised. There. I actually got a tiny bit of ice cream too. It's kind of warm in here. Yeah, so good afternoon. Good afternoon. So let's continue. Right, so we have this URL here, up here, but we don't know why we have this output here. So let's see. The browser body contains taken true. This API endpoint replicates a common feature found in many sign-up forms, which checks whether username has already been registered to prompt the user to choose a different username. Because the taken value is set to true, we can assume that the username admin is already registered. We can confirm this by changing the username in the Mac browser's address bar from admin to admin123. And upon pressing enter, you will see the value taken has now changed to false. Okay, so this is also a working thing. Because I was thinking this is like an image, and this was the working thing. But okay, let's add 1, 2, 3 here. Whatever. So, false. And let's go back to true. So the SQL query that is processed looks like the following. Select star from users where username equals limit 1. Hi! Hi, Rizab, and welcome back. Have a nice SQL day, you too. So the only input we have control over is the username in the query string, and we'll have to use this to perform our SQL injection. Keeping the username as admin123, something invalid there. We can start appending to this and try and make a database confirm true things. Changing the state of the taken field from false to true. Like the previous levels, our first task is to establish the number of columns in the users table, which we can achieve by using a union statement. Change the username value, and then we'll think instead, right? And we're still supposed to be up here. So let's go back to a false value, a value producing false, and let's try and make this one actually be true instead. So let's stop the string and do, well, I guess we're supposed to do union select. Right, so if we do 1, yeah, and have a comment, I'm doing that version. I think it's kind of the same, but just a bit more safe, like better working. So as the web application has responded with the value taken as false, we can confirm this is the incorrect value of columns. Keep on adding more columns until we have a taken value of true. You can confirm that the answer is 3 columns by setting the below value here. So to me it's not very logical to have this as a false value and then union it to make a true one, right? Because if this is false, this won't be returned. So it's good that I redo this. Apparently I need this. Yeah, so of course that semicolon is not the last one. So 2 we get false, comma 3 we get true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the thing I should look at is this, of course, to see what's behind there. Select star from users where username admin123 union select. So the answer of this is not true or false, really. We will get, the command will succeed or not. So if it fails, so if we get an error message like there is no such column user, or there is no such entry in the table in the database, or there is no such, there are the wrong number of columns, it doesn't match. But this will match. So we will get some kind of reply then, just this instead. So it won't any longer give us an error in return, and that's why it's true then. So I get it. So we're going to have to make notes, but I'll eat my ice cream before it melts. Just took a tiny bit of ice cream. It's chocolate with no extra sugar. It's kind of sweet still. I guess it's from the milk, from the cream. So I don't think I will type Boolean based here. Or will I? Yes, it is. It is Boolean based. But so the example is actually again is checking to see if data is in the database. So it's connected to authentication, this one still. Are we using that? But of course we could try and find other information. Check if user exists in a create new account form. So A, create new user account form. Usually check if the username already exists. We can use this to get other information from the database. I don't know, I didn't make this a header, but let's do it. So even if this was kind of short there. We can just do the imagine the SQL being and the check in the background. Testing if the query failed or succeeded. was thinking I don't know how to spell it. Succeeded. Okay, so another E. Then we could use this test for true or false. No error from the SQL statement. An error. Any error. Let's do a question mark there. We're not sure. We don't know the code behind it, even if we know the SQL. So the only input we have control over is a username in the query string. Yes. So if we use a non-existent username, so my spelling today isn't good. Non-existent username. With a union select. I'm saying no result, more like, right? No, this is not good, really. Not true. Data returned. From the SQL statement. So I should have kept SQL statement. Apparently, I'm horrible at spelling. Or false. No data. An error. There. If we use a non-existent username with the union select, that gives a result. Union select. Union select plus something we want to know if it's returning something. I can't even spell returning. Something we want to know if it is returning something. Like I'm just putting these in there. Gives false. Sends wrong number of columns. True. I didn't even misspell that. Gives. S and R is not very close. Maybe I'm as tired as I feel. This week has been like odd. I've been tired all week. Tomorrow it's midsummer, so no work tomorrow. So we Swedes, we do the midsummer celebrations, you know. Let's see if I find something in English. So Christmas trees. Yeah. So midsummer. This is midsummer celebrations. We pretended we're pigs and run around in a circle around the big thing. Well, it's not crazier than Halloween, right?
A holiday devoted to eating, drinking, dancing and assorted pagan rituals. Swedish midsummer is second only in significance to Christmas. This is a guide to making the most of it. First, buy everything in the starter kit. Remember, here everyone brings their own drinks. Make sure you get to the state-owned off-license in plenty of time. Just in
well, we don't have to see the full video. Anyway. So, that's tomorrow. Some kind of ancient thing. So where do I have good space for this? Like there. And I have to keep track of time. So I have another 10 minutes. Oh. So, have to see if there are any good images. Yeah, you have to eat strawberries, and then you dance around this thing. Or you just listen to someone play music and have some... If she's just out inside and talking about stuff. Oh, that's boring. So, midsummer songs. Well, yeah. It's the same songs really. It's like Christmassy things and stuff. When I was a kid, we used to have the same songs at Christmas. So back to SQL for like 5 minutes. Then I'll have a quick break. Yeah, so I think I understood how it works. Now that our number of columns is established, we can work on the enumeration of the database. Our first task is to discover the database name. We can do this by using the built-in database method and when using the like operator. Yeah, so this is kind of slow, you know? Not a fun thing to do manually. That will return a true status. So try the below username value and see what happens. Right, we haven't tried stuff now, but so since this will match anything, this will be true. And then we can just add letters here to find the first letter of the database. Yeah. So I'm thinking, let's hop to the thing, to Kali here, and let's change this by typing 3. So they added the where database like, and then we have the wildcard and the end. So let's do an S here, because this will always be true. So let's see if there's an S first for SQL, right? Yeah, we had the right. Is it Q? Yeah, it's SQL. Was it underscore in theirs? Yes, but I don't remember the rest. SQL. They had SQL. Like something one for the first one we looked at. I'll go back to the room. I don't want to test the letters, but I know how it works, and this works. So alright, I'm not going to tab in there, I'm going to tab to the notes. So I'm going to add S and SQ. True, and true, and let's just do W false. Yeah, I should even do that for reals too, right? Well, that's a stupid copy. I should have copied this one, meaning I didn't need to copy anything else. So that's an example. So let's do something that's wrong, and we get a false. So we can do like A, B. Now I did the keyboard instead. B. Let's do Q, E, E, R, T, Y. Wait. Yeah, so I thought true, but I just clicked by mistake on nothing. So let's continue. We get a response because in the like operator we just have the value of %, which will let anything as it's a wildcard value. If we change the wildcard operator to a %, you will see that the response goes back to false, which confirms that the database name does not begin with the letter A. We can cycle through all the letters, numbers, and characters, such as dash, underscore, until we discover a match. If you send the below as the username value, you will receive a true response that confirms that the database name begins with the letter S. Now you move on to the next character in the database until you find another true response. For example, SA, SB, SC, etc. Keep on with the process until you discover all the characters of the database name, which is SQLi 3. Okay, so mine, I was thinking here, wasn't it SQLi? But this gives true. Meaning it's not actually that good. So I can add how many underscores. There, it became false. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are there those there? Apparently then. There are those databases. We'll have to look at the database later. So T. Yeah, because I tried T before and I was thinking, wasn't the first one called 1? And this might be 3 then. Let's do a random. False 3. So if we try another letter now, maybe an underscore. Underscore is false now. What if I add another underscore here? It's also false. Yeah, so there's probably some database called SQL underscore then. Because we found it. Yeah. Oh my. So, a few more minutes. I'm keeping track of time. We've established the database name, which we can now use to enumerate table names using a similar method by utilizing the information schema database. Try setting the username to the following value. So let's first mess about with the nodes. So union select 1, 2, 3 from information schema where table schema equals SQLi3 and table name like A%. So let's see if this exists. Here, right? So it was all of the thing, right? So A is false. Let's look at it. This query looks for results in the information schema database, where the tables in the tables table where the database name matches SQLi3, and the table name begins with the letter A. As the above query results in a false response, we can confirm that there are no tables in the SQLi3 database that begins with the letter A. Like previously, you'll need to cycle through letters, numbers, and characters until you find a positive match. You'll finally end up discovering a table in the SQLi in the SQLi3 database named users, which you can confirm by running the following username payload. Yeah, so it's 3 minutes until the call, so I'm going to remind my kid again, and I'll be there and have a short meeting. So let's put up a BRB. Well, let's put lunch up because I don't have the time to type a new one. I'll be right back. I better have both ears. There. Yeah, the TTS, it's not on. So security, I have to check in with Security Live. So move once. Right, I'm sorry for not noticing you. Okay, yeah. I'll be back soon. There, so the meeting is done, so I'll be back very soon. I'm sorry for the long delay. Let's see here. Wrong ear? I don't think so. We'll see. I'm just getting some trash away. By the way, I was going to switch mics. There. So, we can talk. Just going to throw some trash out. There. So, I have some very good food in the fridge. So I looked at it again. But I don't think I need to eat yet. Unfortunately. Så Laban, varsågod. Jag hämtar lite nytt vatten till dig. Just getting some water. Så, här är det vatten. Varsågod. Linus? Skulle du vilja åka till någon Lucia? Skulle du vilja åka till någon midsommarfirande imorgon? Någon sån där stång och så?
No.
Inte?
No.
Är du säker på det?
No.
Okej.
Can I use my computer now?
Men han har ju inte varit här än. Det är ju imorgon.
What do you mean?
Evan kommer imorgon.
Oh.
Så egentligen är det ledig dag imorgon, men eftersom Laban bara har 2 gånger kvar med honom. There, so yeah, I think I'm going to close the window too. I'm back in the room now. I'll just close the window. So it's very sunny and nice outside, but I heard that it was like a little lonely, and I know that even the trees, the wind in the trees, is audible. So let's fix it. There, fixed. Very easy to fix. Some things are easier than others to fix, right? For people who saw me get stuck in the glue, we put glue on this one, they know. So I'm thinking this thing, I'm going to put a bit more glue and then leave it to dry. So I'll do it not over my desk, but here on the side, actually over the trash. So let's just make this plastic a bit stronger here. There. This smells horribly. There, so let's see where we can put it. So it's on the top side now there. Now that there's lots of glue, let's put it a bit away. Well, here's a stable place there. So it should quickly dry in a second. So let's see. Right, let's get rid of that lunch sign because it was a meeting. I should have like a meeting sign, right? Though hopefully I won't be having lots of meetings while I stream. But I was thinking I can't wait an hour to start streaming, just because I have a meeting. I was already late. So definitely time to add an hour. We have only 18 minutes left. And we know that the letter of the table is not C, but my memory tells me here that it was user, right? So U, true. Let's do an error. False. SE, true. R, true. E, false. User. So let's assume we tried all the letters because we wouldn't do this manually, right? We might if we're lucky. So the cool thing here is we can actually use the feedback of this. You can't use this username because the name already exists, right? To get data like this. But of course, this requires it not to be sanitized, or it wouldn't work. So it's not that you can use it anywhere. Oh, that's the wrong one. That was just me. I thought it was this one, but it wasn't. So, like previously, try letters. We ended up with users. Right, users actually. So I was off one letter. It's supposed to be an S there too. I'm thinking it's time to move the actual notes over to this side because it's much easier to tab between Windows programs. Like, and just have the VM on the right. So let's see now. I want to check if I missed anything in chat. So we have another best viewers on. I was thinking I would actually even tried to add something to to fix that. Rhythm said no problem. Thank you, because I missed the chat messages here. So let's pop this over to the screen. So yeah. So a movie once about a sort of festival in Sweden. Yeah. It was a sort of horror. It was sort of a cult where they burned the boyfriend of the lady. Okay, that's not the usual one, okay? A lot of flowers. Yeah, so you usually just pick so many flowers it can cover like a whole pool. And also this crossbar and then also the round things. I guess these are like balls, okay? So it's a big dick, the whole thing. Actually, it's like a, you know, fruitfulness symbol for the harvest to be good thingy kind of thing. So it's some ancient thing. I don't know really. It's just fun and games, and people usually sell like lottery tickets, and you can buy a big chocolate or something, or a big teddy bear. All of those small things. Only there's this big thing there too. So usually we have like let's see. I can check out of our place because this is like a Viking farm close by. So they have built on like top of where they used to be, and there are these old kind of stones and stuff. So yeah, midsummer is tomorrow 11 to 15. So not lots of green stuff here, but yeah, so it's a kind of museum out in the fresh air. And you can learn like ancient crafts and stuff there. It's kind of cool. I used to go there and make like pin bread on and grilled sausages on their open fire when the kids were tiny. But then they got more like, oh, there's people, I don't want to meet people. So, unfortunately, that's from school being bad. So there's another one. Yeah, so this is just there outside. And they usually have like markets and thing too. Mm. Viking clothes. Scroll on the map. Yeah, so here it is. So let's see how, can we click? Yeah, I didn't want to control scroll, I wanted to control zoom. So let's see. We are here. So from here, kind of close, right? Though this is just nothing messy. This is where I usually take a walk though. So we could just walk to the other side here. We could walk this under the road. We could walk like, I think someone walked this way. And you can walk up here. Just take a bit of a walk and you get there. But we usually take the car up on the highway, so. Yep. Let's continue with SQL. Hi. So, table name users. I'm assuming this is the next thing to do. I read this, but let's just recheck it. Query result looks in information schema in the tables for database matches this, and the table name with letter A. And then we found out that it was users. Yeah, this is what we did here. So you'll finally end up discovering the SQLi3 database name users, which you can confirm by running the following username payload. And yeah, so we don't do the like bit here, we just do the full name. Yeah, so this is a nice thing, the confirm here, right? So we need to have this in the notes. And now we can tab on the same thing, very nice. So, confirm you got the correct name by skipping the like bit, like this. Now the glue still smells. I'm not going to put my finger on there. I didn't do it last time. I was just trying to get the plastic pieces to stick together, and that's why I got stuck with my finger there. So I had one more candy, so I'll actually, I felt like I needed them. It was like a tough day. That reminds me. Mm. So that reminds me, I haven't been like moving as much this week since I usually do when my kid is school. I go like running or something for an hour. So I'll have to do that, or I will just be a big blob at the end of summer, right? And not aiming for blobness. There. And this is something we can use in other places too to confirm. To instead of like have an actual equals there. There. Well, that was a bad tap. We want this one. So, lastly, we now need to enumerate the column names of the table, of the user's table, so we can properly search it for login credentials. Again, we can use the information schema database and the information we've already gained to query it for column names. Using the payload below, we search the columns table where the database is equal to, so let's see here, information schema columns where table schema SQLi 3 and table name users and column name. So we just add a bit there on the end. No, we don't, because now we're not doing tables, we're doing columns. And instead, yes, a table schema, table name, but we're adding column name here. So let's see. So I saw I had a message from my mom. Okay, so my mom don't know if she can charge her phone, so I might have to go over there. I'm just typing a instruction on how she's supposed to do this. There. So one of my siblings suggested she use the charger for her computer, which has the same connector USB-C as a Chromebook, and I just used other words to say the same thing. So I didn't think he got it the first time. She just said, "I don't use my computer." And I said that I'm coming over with a new one if she needs it. So she doesn't have to worry, because he was like going, "It's this percentage, it's this percent, it's 48, it's 47%." So it's the only electronics he uses, really. And that's the only way we communicate. There. So if she goes offline, then I know that she needs a charger or some help. Using the panel below, we insert the columns right. Yeah, so we confirm that it's almost the same search again, though no, it's knock on the door. Just love. Hur är det Bubben? Ska jag ge dig lite mat? Jag fixar det. Vad ska det? Jag går ner direkt. Jag ska bara säga till att jag gör det. Like it. Yeah, so I just realized I didn't switch mics back. But I'll just go and get microwave some spaghetti. Right, and I should also scroll down chat because I was like, oh, did I miss more messages? Hi, Suffer Enigma. Yeah, so I'll be right back and continue. So I'm redoing this room because I lost my notes. So it's and it's a great one. It's going through the SQLi, very nicely. And so you can't not understand it. So it's pedagogical. I like that. So I'll go down and just microwave something. A bit of spaghetti and a bit of meat sauce. So it's like 4 minutes, probably. So unfortunately, since the TTS is working, I can't. I'll set it up so it works again. Another one. But I'm just quickly fixing this first. And then we'll do the SQL. And then if the TTS is not working tomorrow, before stream, I will make sure that I have something else set up. The stuff is good, but that works at least. And I'm kind of sad that because I had configured the speaker box, the thing that kind of like accompanies the stream about. So this fluff spaghetti, I'll have to boil you tomorrow. It's already. So I had it set up with the voices and stuff, and I deleted it because I was thinking I'll never use this again. Why did I delete it? Because I have hard drive problems. It's all too much streams and stuff on there. So that's why I deleted it, because I want hard drive space. I should have deleted the tiny stream instead, because I don't think it's a lot of megabytes. The speaker bot, it can't be big. So there. I'll just put the plate in for 2 minutes, and then we're done. So I'm sure you should really be able to do this himself. Well, but mostly because he's got issues with stuff clean. So that food looks very good still. They're in the fridge. So I'm gonna ketchup. And then we So 111. It's kind of windy out today. So I really hate not being able to talk to people when I'm in the kitchen. I can't hear chat. It's horrible. Yeah. So 32 seconds. This time ever as slow as when you're waiting for the microwave. I mean, even 2 seconds could be long. And 2 times 8 seconds seems even longer. 4, 3, 2, 1. There. Yay! Sadaba! Här kommer det. Så, varsågod. Thank you. Yes, alldeles nyss. Take it back. Hej Peppe.
That too.
Åh, det var sista spagettin.
Okay.
Vi kan göra en ny imorgon, okej?
But I want other food then.
Okej. Vad ska ni göra?
Go.
Jag tänker att vi kanske ska gå och handla lite också Peppe. Den glömde jag.
Can I have it?
Ska du ha den? Okej.
Yeah. Is this a bite you took?
Yes. Du kan få en ny istället, my god.
Okay.
Jag tycker du ska äta upp den här gubben.
No, it doesn't taste good. Well, it does, but not nearly enough.
Men du säger att den inte är äcklig.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat it.
Men det är ingen annan som kommer äta den.
Then throw it away.
Okej. Om den är helt oätlig. Jag behöver gå upp och fortsätta jobba i alla fall.
And give me a candy bar. You said you would.
Bribing.
You said you would.
Ja, jag sa ju. Jag lovat dig att du ska få en.
When?
Du kan få den när vi går upp, för de är där uppe.
Okay.
Vill du ha något annat mat?
Yeah.
Vad ska du ha då? Ska vi ta lite sån här tunnbrödsrullar med något gott på?
Nah.
Jag stänger för att den blir för varm. Vårrullar?
Nah. Can you give me chicken nuggets?
Yes.
Okay. I want you are 15.
50.
80 nuggies.
Mm-mm.
Where are the candy bars? Or are you going to come up and get me?
Jag fixar den. Men du kan ju äta mat först när du har mat på listan.
But I want the candy bar first.
Men ta den där då.
But I want a full one.
Yes, den är inte mycket större än sådär. Jag tog typ en tredjedel av den där. Minigrejer.
I want a full one.
Ja, den hänger på dörren till min garderob, en svart påse. Med alldeles för mycket godis i där. Som jag köpte när jag handlade till din födelsedag. Så det ska vi inte bara äta och sådär. Det var bara jag som var jättetrött och det var därför jag tog en. So, my other kid wanted something too. Or he really wanted the same, but I took the loss. So I'm just quickly cleaning the air fryer because it wasn't ready to be used. Yes, love. Yes. Vad är det?
Are you streaming?
Yes, jag streamar. Men det är ingen fara.
Then you go get it.
Okej. Men ingen kan se dig. Okay. So he doesn't want to go in the room because someone's screaming. So maybe that's good because then I can hide the candy. I totally was. So I'm getting a new paper for the kitchen. So I don't want to put even the chicken is so wet from being frozen. I still want to wipe the air fryer after it's there. So it's really quick to clean it. So I think we might be more than one. This is feels like it's almost out. So I'm sorry for just disappearing all over the place. What if it was? It was 10, 11, 13. So I need to. Is it a new bag? I have 3 more Amazon bags. Like 40. So they're kinda eating a lot. For kids, that are kinda specific about what they eat. So, he'll probably get himself in 15 minutes. I could give him a timer. I'll just tell him. Linus! Du piper om 15 minuter, okay?
Candy bar.
Ah, yes. You can always try to forget the candy bar, right? Let's give him one. So good, man. So good.
Yeah.
So it's like Friday for us today. Since it's midsummer tomorrow. So finally, I think, so both my kids have eaten and lots of food. Well, he'll get some ketchup or something for his lunch or whatever. For his. So let's check that. Yeah. So, Cyber Enigma, if you're still there, GM, do you mean good morning? It's just me that's in the wrong time zone. So, yeah, if you're like 9 or 10 hours different in my time zone, it's very early instead. Times are not the days are not that long as you would like kind of assume, right? So time flies here on the calendar. Yeah, so I'm going to continue. So, right, let's change this query ourselves. Let's just make sure that it actually equals users there. This should be true. Then we have the full name of the table. Then the next thing to do, let's use our own notes now instead. So I didn't make more notes, so let's do that. Leslie, we need to enumerate the column names. Yes, I read this, but we didn't actually put this in there. Right, so what I did for the other notes, up here I have list tables, list columns, list the contents. So why didn't I do the same? Good question. right? Because this is a bit special. So this is list database. So get database name. So it's not really like anything that's automatic in any way. There. And this is get table name. There. And then we have to confirm the table name, which I skipped. Then we have get column name. So I could do like columns, but this is just the first one. Let's do the underline here too. So since I lost these notes and I really like them, it's a bit annoying to remake the same notes, but still I think this is a good thing to repeat. So even if I feel like, well, there's SQL map, I still want to know really how to do everything manually if I would need to. And also we could do these. I guess we could do them with burp, and we could also do them just with a script, right? So we should probably make like Python scripts and test out. Maybe even on this. So there was a reason I have burp here in the background. Proxy and everything. So we can look at stuff. So run. That's what it's posting. Level 3 SQL select star from users where yeah, so it's just sending it all there. And then it just sends back true, false. Yeah, this is interesting. So the level 3 here didn't work. So the get level 1. Then attacker THM. So would whatever. Then we have oh, my mom's phone is charging. So I won't have to go there tonight. That's nice. Well, I'll see her in midday or two anyway. So the level 2 gets level 2, which is this. Yes, this is kind of interesting to read. Then we run this one. Message. Perfecto admin. Password. Two. I think she. There. Just my sister messaging too. So as long as she see this, okay, I'll turn off the phone chat. We're using WhatsApp. I think it's kind of, well, you have to use what the family uses, right? So using the people below. Sorry for going through the same thing again and again, losing track. Hmm. Um. Yeah, so column name not equals to, because we don't want to find the same one again, and that will be extra important if we automated it, right? Because we then, if it would find the same one, it's kind of like eternal. Oh, I found another one again. We can just say, sorry for the noise. I have two more salty bins. My 16-year-old was actually making a Minecraft mod with salty bins. Sorry. Right, I should have like a message noted yesterday, sorry, like. Right, and also, there's a quick fix to do. So this was still white since it crashed. So did it not connect again? Seriously. So it connected automatically, or connected once at least. I just clicked connect. Yeah, so I unticked that thing. I just realized I didn't update this. I'm just copying the one I have here on Twitch. So there. And I want to see the combined chat so that I can see what people say instead of hear it. TTS is so great. So, if you're looking for multiple research results, you'll have to add this to your payload each time. You find a new column. Oh my god, so much messages. Okay, cool. So, do we need one more administrator in the image support group on Facebook? Why not? Alright, let's check some LinkedIn messages. I am almost never on Facebook. There. Oh well. I'll actually. I think. Oh, I was just waiting for my mom. She didn't answer anything more, so I think that one's okay. So I'll have to ask her. It's a friend. Uh, there. So yeah, I don't think I read the bit in between here actually. Again, you'll need to cycle through letters, numbers, and characters until you find a match. As you're looking for multiple results, you'll have to add this to your payload each time you find a new column. Well, yeah, we already read that. So, I'm just thinking, do we need to add anything more to the notes? We have the get column name. Uh, to not get the same hit twice. My. So we're going to add it that it's not equals to this. There. And this is where I would have liked to color this kind of thing. Oh, I don't know how. Okay, okay. So there. So it's someone who's been in our group since 2015 and is answering questions too. So why not add her as an admin? So let's see here. Yeah. And the next thing, rebooting the process 3 times will enable you to discover the columns ID, username, and password, and we could kind of guess too, right? We don't have to randomly do letters. Let's actually do it a bit. Yeah. So it's a kind of big group. So I'm sorry for the split attention. It'll be over soon. We haven't really talked for a bit, so. So our kids that we started it about is kind of there. Repeating this process 3 times, yes. So what I noticed is that we were doing this right. So I was just checking the run there, and then we have the get level 3, and it would be kind of interesting to look into this a bit. So I need to learn more web coding. So most is just logical, but there are a few things you really need to learn, like how this is interactive. We can see how these things. Let's see. That's something else. So these runs, we can see that how it asks the server stuff, or rather how we do it. We send these. Okay. True, false. So we did get another message up here. No, it was before we. This one interests me. But since we have an error here in the feedback. So I'm thinking this is not just true, false. We actually get errors. Even though we're not shown them. Well, that's enough for me now. Let's continue and actually do the schema columns. So I'm just confirming that there are no changes before this. Where? Table schema, table name, users. And then we continue. And a column name like. So yeah, so let's start with the percent. We should have it by true if we did this right. So I didn't do it right. So admin 123, union select 123 from information schema. Oh, I missed an S there. True, true. So let's start adding. Let's say that we think that one is username. So we do user. And then we think this is probably the right thing. Let's do equals instead. And then we get a false. Oh, so there are more. Maybe we'll add name here. And that's false too, because it's equals and the percent sign. That will always be false. So let's imagine we're back there. And then we add name, and it's true. And let's say, well, username. We probably have a password too. Yeah. What could the other one be? Let's just confirm ID here. But well, whatever. We could add the extra bit. Well, if we automate it, we'll need this bit. But when we do it manually, we know what we know, right? So for so when automating, it's not really interesting otherwise, because we won't forget that we already did the one, right? If we go through all the letters. Get column name. So we have the column names now. Repeating this process. I'm just going to close the phone there. That was a last check. Nothing new I needed to reply to. Repeating this process 3 times will enable you to discover the column's ID. Yeah, so we did that. First, you'll need to discover a valid username. Which I can use to query the user table for login credentials. First, you'll need to discover a valid username, which you can then use. Oh, you can use a payload below. Okay. Oh, it is. Right. So I'm like, get data, and I can't do this, right? Control U doesn't work. I'll need to, which is kind of annoying. Why do they have fat and italic but not underline? It sticks out even more, so it's easy to see. So once you cycle through all the characters, then compare the existence of the username admin. Now I got a username. You can connect on this. Well, I'm going to copy all of this so I can make it easier and not have to. Oh my god, that's long. Well, 3845. So I'm just going to add a few more to make us remember that that's how we do it, you know? There. So let's do it. We need to press the thingy. Right, the streak. I almost forgot. We're supposed to keep that right. 60. I think the longest I had was 64, and then there was a bug. I was relying on the mails, so when I had vacation to keep track on if I had done something the day, no, and the mails just stopped coming. So it's not that important. Time-based. That's nice. Okay, so now we have a request time timer here, so we can see if it was quick or slow. It's nice. And then we don't have to add that much time. Time-based blind SQL in I. It's very similar to the Boolean-based one, that the same requests are sent, but there is no visual indicator of your queries being wrong or right this time. Instead, your indicator of correct query is based on the time the query takes to complete. The time delay is introduced using built-in methods such as sleep, alongside with union statement. The sleep method will only ever get executed upon a successful union select. Statement. For example, when trying to establish the number of columns in a table, you would use the following. Okay. So this is 1. Okay. So we're supposed to use this one the same way, even though it's refer this time. So let's just do what they use. And we 1, 2, 3. We could use just like whatever. We end the string. Do union select and just sleep. That's kind of short, but we can do 50 instead. So if you now do comma 2, why did I do 50? So Kind of obvious, right? Thanks to this. If there was no pause in the response, we know that the query was unsuccessful. So like the previous task, we add another column, 2. This payload should have a 5-second delay, confirming the successful execution of the union statement, and that there are 2 columns. We can now repeat the enumeration process from the Boolean-based SQL injection, adding the sleep method to the union select. If you're struggling to find the table name, the below query should help you on your way. Well, I'm assuming SQL4, right? That's the name. So now we're supposed to actually use... let's make the notes first. So, Boolean based, but this is time based. So it's still Boolean. My god, this is so annoying. So time based is Boolean 2, but that should be obvious, right? We can't just have different output columns. Just getting something not sweet in my teeth. I'm sorry for eating so much candy too. So, time to speed up. So we're going to do all of this, but we're going to use here instead. We use as the first one we're getting no output, even true, false. So we delay instead. Out but. So instead of these, we sleep. Well, let's do 5. It's kind of reasonable wait time, right? So the table has 2 columns. So I'm going to pop up to my previous one, and we're going to go through. First, to get the database name, we have union select, And then we're going to add here a where database. Yeah, and it's a function like, you could probably do equal here, right? But I think it's the next number. So I'm going to try, see if I can guess it. SQLI underscore 4. And we have the delay to 4. So definitely delay. And if I remove a letter, we get an instant. So I was right. So then we have this bit. So we're going to change we're going to add from information to my tables here to get the table name. So I copied that. I'm going to add that after the 2 here. Where table schema. Table schema equals SQLi4 and table name. And let's assume that we have the same name and try with equals. And let's try users. Yeah, so let's switch the delay to 3 seconds, right? That should be enough. So we have confirmed that it's users again. And then we can get column name. So I'm going to copy from this. So the difference between this and this is that now we have columns here. That's the first difference. Then we have an and column name at the end. So let's go back here. Here. Columns. Where table schema, table name, users, and column underscore name. So we have 2 now in the table. Should it be username and password? We don't know yet. Where column name equals, I'm doing equals. We could do like and the string, but since I'm guessing full thing, so we have password and username because that's a delay. So password and username. Right. So let's go back to the notes. So we have the column names. They are username and password. And there are only 2 colors. So there's no ID in this one. Get data like username and password. Yeah, so now we can make a shorter question here. Where username. So first, let's get a username. So let's manually edit it. Where username. Oh, didn't click enough. Where username like let's try admin, but we need to change the start of this. From users. From users. Where username like admin. Yeah, so we could do make sure that it's actually exactly admin and not administrator. Yeah. So now we have the challenge. We know that the last password was 4 digits. That's kind of a nice way to do it, right? If they don't want us to spend hours to finding a password manually enumerating. So if you're struggling to find the table name, the below query should help you on your way. A database, yeah. So that's not where we're at. So let's kind of look. What was the old password? The old one. It was 3845, right? So let's see if they use the same one. I don't think it's the same one because then people wouldn't have to actually practice here. Oh, right. We need username because we're just going to add an and. Right, I'm so sorry. I could have made this bigger before. Oh, I've been doing so much of this and I haven't had it big. Sorry. Username and password like. So let's just try the first, the old one. I'm thinking it's not that, right? So I'm actually removing one character at a time. Okay. I'm confirming my syntax now because that was a lot of them. Well, it's not extremely annoyingly slow, but I still want to make sure that I have kind of the syntax right. This, these are the same. I don't know if I switched back. That's why I switched again. So from users, where username admin and password. Let's do this to confirm. Yeah, so there's something wrong. Oh, see, there's no password with one S. Yeah, so all of my tests were for nothing. For 49. Yeah, I was thinking, why not more ones? And the last one was equals, was 4 digits, so yeah. So now we can log in with these credentials, admin, and 4961 there. So let's hop to this. I think we're done with that one since there was no new page. So let's double check our notes. We can use all of the same queries as with Boolean. Only adding sleep 3. Well, let's do it in there as one of the columns. Representations. Why does it complain about my Boolean spelling? It wants it capitalized. Okay. Oh, so, out of band SQLi. Out of band SQLi injection isn't as common as it either depends on specific features being enabled on the database server or the web application business logic, which makes some kind of external network call based on the arguments from an SQL query. An out-of-band attack is classified by having 2 different communication channels, one to launch the attack and the other to gather the results. For example, the attack channel could be a web request, and the data gathering channel could be monitoring HTTP DNS requests made to a service you control. So I'm thinking notes here. So I think I have 3 for this level. So out of band the data collection method is something totally different than the, what do they call it? Launch the attack. For example, Yeah, so it can be sent to a HTTP server view control. So I've done that with like sending stuff to my tiny Python HTTP server. Alright, funny requests. So, I'm thinking I'll finish this and then we'll probably do some soldering because I feel like that since yesterday. I've done that for 2 days, I think. And also didn't do any soldering at work. I haven't done this for a long time, really. An attacker makes requests to a website to SQL injection. Payload. The website makes an SQL database. I'll read it again. An attacker makes a request to a website vulnerable to SQLi with an injection payload. The website makes an SQL entry to the database, which also passes the hacker's payload. The payload contains a request which forces HTTP request back to the hacker's machine containing data from the database. Name a protocol beginning with T. DNS. Should I mention DNS in my notes? Because I've never done it with DNS. We will probably add more stuff here, but I don't think there's much more than the example here, right? So remediation. As impactful as SQLi vulnerabilities are, developers do have a way to protect their web application from them by following this advice below. Prepared statement with parameterized queries. In a prepared query, the first thing a developer writes is the SQL query, and then any user inputs are added as parameters afterwards. Writing prepared statements ensures the SQL code structure does not change and the database can distinguish between the query and the data. As a benefit, it also makes your code look much cleaner and easier to read. I would like to see the code, not just a sentence. Input validation can go a long way to protect what gets put into a SQL query. Employing lawless can restrict input to only certain strings, or a string replacement method in the programming language can filter the character you wish to allow or disallow. Escaping user input. Allowing user input containing characters such as can cause SQL queries to break or even worse, as we learned, open them up for injection attacks. Escaping user input is a method of prepending a backslash to these characters, which then causes them to be parsed just as a regular string and not a special character. Name a method of protecting yourself from SQL injection exploit. I'm kind of thinking they will prefer statements, right? Yeah. So so we got fireworks this time too, even though I already did it once. So